Hi everyone, it's Amy. Today we're going to make a silicone mold for flatback pieces. Now there are many ways to make molds, but I find this method quick and easy with less mess to deal with. I do have another mold making tutorial for non-flatback pieces, so please go check that out since there are some additional info that may be useful for beginners. I'll put a card up on the screen and also a link in the description box. Alright, enjoy this video! So today I'll be making a mold for these teacup flatbacks. Here I'm lining up my originals on a grid mat to give me an idea of how big my mold should be. Then using some building blocks, I'm going to make a custom mold box. You can definitely use anything that will hold the liquid, such as cookie cutters, plastic cups, and Tupperwares. You can even make your own by using cardboard, foam board, or plastic sheets. I find these building blocks work perfectly since I can make it at any size I want without the risk of wasting silicone. Also, it's reusable and it's space saving since you don't have to have different sized mold boxes in your stock. Make sure when building your mold box you have at least a 1/4 inch space between the mold ball and the original so we don't have the risk of the mold tearing. Now to figure out how much silicone you're going to need, pour some rice in the mold box with the original in there, making sure that it covers the top of the piece at least a 1/4 inch. Then pour that rice in a measuring cup to see the volume. I would recommend mixing slightly more silicone than what you measured here to account for the silicone that will be left in the mixing cup, because generally you don't want to scrape off the cup to avoid unmixed parts in your mold. Next, we are going to secure our original and the mold box with self-laminating sheet. Make sure you cut out a piece that's bigger than the mold box. I prefer laminating sheets over contact paper because the adhesive is stronger. Now you don't need to use hot glue with this because the walls are thick enough and the silicone's thick viscosity won't allow it to leak out. But if you are worried, you can always fold the laminating sheet over the side walls. If you are using other mold boxes, you definitely will need the hot glue, but skip the laminating sheet and secure your original and the mold box on a non-porous surface since the heat from the glue will distort the laminating sheet. Now we're ready for the silicone. Today we're going to be using the liquid silicone from Resin. Their silicone is 1:1 ratio and can be measured by volume or by weight. I'm going to measure it by weight for more accuracy. Now just like resin, 2-part silicone also has a pot life or working time once the parts are mixed. But Resin doesn't have that information on their website or their listing on Amazon, so I did reach out to them and they said 10 minutes, which I don't think it's 10 minutes. I think it's a lot longer than that, maybe 20 to 30 minutes or so. So this silicone has a low viscosity, which is great since it makes it easy to mix and you don't have to deal with large bubbles. And it has a better bubble releasing quality compared to other silicones. Now they do state that it's bubble free, but I find it's only bubble free if the mold is thin, like around 1/2 inch or so. You'll definitely get micro bubbles, but they won't affect your casting. Just make sure that there are no large bubbles stuck on the original. But I will put my silicone in a vacuum chamber to make it completely bubble free. Now I've seen people color their silicone with mica powder to make custom colored molds, so if you do that then you don't have to worry about it. So people have been wondering about my vacuum chamber, and mine is from the Best Value Vac, but now they are known as BVV. I'll have the link in the description box. But nowadays you can find affordable vacs on Amazon as well. So any liquid you put under a vacuum will expand, so make sure the container you're using is tall and large enough, or else you'll deal with a lot of overspills. Turn on the vacuum and let it go for 3 to 5 minutes. What I like to do is I release the vacuum and turn it back on and repeat this process a couple more times. This actually pops the surface bubbles. Since the silicone doesn't produce large bubbles, there's no need to pour it in a small stream at a high point. But you might need to use a toothpick to remove any bubbles that formed in the nooks and crannies of your original. Also, like I mentioned earlier, don't scrape the silicone off the cup to avoid unmixed parts in your mold. Now all there is to do is wait till it's cured. Alright, so everything is cured. Now let's go ahead and remove the mold box and the original from the silicone. So it's looking good so far. These bits here you can just trim off with scissors. Now I'm going to pour fast curing resin to show you guys the final casting. So here it is, and they are perfect. They are the exact copies of my original. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Also, for everybody, make sure to have the notification bell on so you are notified every time I upload. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!